What's going on, everyone? Welcome on into a live Cleveland Browns report. And boy, do we have a lot to get to today as day one of minicamp wrapped up. And I would say 89 of the 90 players were there. But the one notable absence is wide receiver Amari Cooper. So we're going to relay all the information we know at this point. I'll tell you what you need to know and also where I think this is headed altogether, because this could go a handful of different directions. So before we get to all that good stuff, we do like to let the audience build up, let everyone kind of click on the notification, file on in. I know there's some latecomers out there. So in the meantime, shout out your city. Let me know where you are tuning in from. It's always great to see how well represented the Buckeye State is. In fact, today I messaged my boss letting him know, hey, I'm going to need some PTO because I'm going up to Cleveland. I want to do a meet and greet with all of you beautiful, wonderful viewers. So keep your calendars clean, keep them clear for Thursday, August 1st in the lunch rush at a location that is TBD, but somewhere in Cleveland. So looking forward to hopefully meeting a lot of you guys, and don't be a stranger. Feel free to drop by. I promise I don't bite. I love talking brownies, love talking football. So Thursday, August 1st, somewhere in the greater Cleveland area, but looking more to be in the city. But I'm open to ideas. So we'll get the location nailed down, but at least keep that part of your schedule clear. So let's see where everyone's watching from. I've got David in Minster. I've got Ty Man the Buckeye in Ohio. Kathy is in Sacramento. Josh is in Salem, Oregon. Nick is in Colorado, it looks like. Ty Man the Buckeye and Jacob Kistner are running point on the chat as always. Raul is tuning in from Porterville, California. That in Salem may win for the furthest viewer from, we'll say, Cleveland is X on the map. Get your cities in the chat. Let me know where you are tuning in from. Now, a big topic we're going to get to on today's video is Amari Cooper, who is not at mandatory minicamp. Not an excused absence, so he is subject to fines. Usually when a player doesn't show up to something because of a contract dispute, if the team and the player reach an agreement on a contract, they pick up all the fines. They're not interested in being petty and getting the players $45,000 back. But would you extend Amari Cooper? He's about to turn 30 years old. Trace, can you look up when he turns 30? I know his birthday is in June, and I am the self-appointed birthday czar, and I'm going to guess it too. I'm not looking. I know his birthday is June. I'm partially, it's definitely not today because someone would have mentioned it, but June 11th does stick out to me. I'm going to say his birthday is June. I'm in between two dates. So I'm going to get both of them. June 16th and June 27th.
One of those is very, very close.
I think the 16th is close.
Do you want me to tell you?
Yeah, tell me.
His birthday, June 17th.
Damn it!
1994.
Did I say June 16th and June 27th?
Yep.
So
you
I did combine the two.
I was like, you combined the two. I was trying to explain that.
I know. Okay. So would you guys be open to extending Amari Cooper? He's about to turn 30 years old. Do you feel like he still has good football left in him? Right? There's the age-old Bill Belichick saying, it's better to move on from a guy 1 year too early than 1 year too late. So do you feel like Amari Cooper has, I would say, more than just one good season left in him, like beyond 2024, like 2025 and 2026? Because if you extended him to a 3-year contract, you hope to get 2 good years out of that 3-year deal. Can you get 2 more good seasons? I would really say 3 more good seasons, 2024, 5, and 6. Can you get 3 more good years from Amari Cooper? What do you think? Give me a yes or give me a no down in the comments section.
I have a hot take.
Fire away.
On this. So, even if you were to extend Amari Cooper, you could use him or have him and hope for him to have really good production for 2 years. But that 3rd year, let's say there's a really nice wide receiver.
Are you saying 2 years on his 3-year extension?
On his 3-year extension.
So then you need 3 more good seasons.
Okay.
Because he's still under contract for this year.
Okay, that's right.
So the new contract would start for 2025.
Okay.
So you're saying 2025 and 2026, he's still good.
Got it. So even regardless, even on the back end of that contract, he's still a good receiver, and I feel like he would be somebody who would be good to have around when there's other young wide receivers around.
I agree.
To be a little bit of a mentor. So even if it's like year 6, year 7 of the contract, it's like he's not getting 800, 900 yards, but he's still an effective player that's still adding value to the young guys.
I think maybe a 2-year extension, a 3-year extension would be appropriate because I don't think he's going to slow down. So I'm
Totally
on
agree.
board with extending Amari Cooper. I know it's easier said than done when it comes to veteran players because they look great right now. Then the very next year they fall off a cliff and no one understands how it got so bad so quickly. But I don't think Amari Cooper is on that path. So let me know. Would you extend Amari Cooper? Yes or no? Get in the comment section. Off the wall question. So I do want to bring on Trizzy Trace for this one because I'm sure he'll have a strong opinion. It's summer months, right? Good vibes, good weather.
Yes, great vibes.
If you had to cut one of these 3 things right here, summer fireworks, lake days, or summer golf, which one would you cut?
This is a tough one.
You can make a decent case for all 3.
You really could.
I'll start with pros and cons for fireworks. Pro, I like fireworks.
Fireworks are awesome.
Con, I know some people hate fireworks.
I agree.
So that could be a very easy cut. My dog hates fireworks, but I think she can put up for it with one night.
Yeah.
Lake days. Love lake days, but you do have to know someone with a lake house and a boat.
Well, that's
Like,
the big one.
You kind of go in and out of periods of your life where you've got that plug, that connection.
Right
I
now,
don't have that.
I'm in the lull. I'm in the lull right now.
Yeah. I mean, when I was younger and growing up, my cousin had that. So we would go over to their lake all the time.
Yep.
No. Like, don't have that plug. So
Yeah.
I don't think I'll be on the lake at all this summer.
Yeah, I think.
I don't know who's inviting me. Please invite me. I'll come.
The only connection I have to getting onto a lake is through my brother because his brother's girlfriend, like their family, owns a boat on Texoma. So, like, that's the only way I could get on. And so, for me, I'm cutting lake days because I love fireworks, and golf I can go do at any point.
So I like golf. I'm not the best golfer in the world. Summer golf is a lot of fun. Like getting the invite to summer golf, like to a summer golf outing, like, ooh,
definitely.
that's gonna be a lot of fun. I look forward to doing that on Saturday. Then you sort of get out there and realize how hot it is, and it's not as enjoyable when you're on ball number 9 and it's not even hole number 9.
Yeah.
So that's when the outing can kind of go downhill. If I were president, I think something that I would push through, and this isn't a law, it's more just a mental mindset. It would be make leaving after 9 holes okay. Like 9 holes is plenty enough for me.
I second that. I second it.
I hate
you
that.
Have my vote.
I shoot between 100 to 105, and I'm very happy to leave after 9 holes.
Yeah.
But the issue is, no one else views that as acceptable. So I'm just like along for the ride for holes 10 through 18.
Okay, so I have a question about golf for you, Petey.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on walking the course versus getting the golf cart?
Golf cart every single time.
Okay, I have a fraternity brother who's like, if we golf, nope, we're walking. We're walking the entire thing. I'm like, that is
way too hard for me.
Yeah,
not
totally
happening.
Agree.
All right. One more off the wall question, and then we can kind of get into the nuts and bolts of today's show. We had Potbelly for lunch today, so I just thought I'd open up the floor to all of you guys watching right now. Favorite chain sandwich restaurant? Trace, fire away.
Jersey Mike's.
Oh, I like Jersey Mike's. Can't go wrong with Jersey Mike's. I'm going to stick up for Jimmy John's. I love Jimmy John's.
Good answer.
My last job, I got free Jimmy John's for work, and that was the definition of being spoiled. Paying for Jimmy John's now feels so weird.
Oh, I know.
After usually I would just like, this Jimmy John's had a drive-through too.
Yep.
And they would recognize me and we'd skip the whole payment process of the step. And that was just a really cool feeling every time. Just like sandwich, drink, chips, off I went. But you know what? I'm pretty mad at Jimmy John's. It took away the kick and ranch. That was the best thing on the menu. So favorite chain sandwich restaurant, let me know. Kathy says Subway. I like Subway. Subway gets more heat than it deserves. Jacob says Five Guys. Five Guys not a sandwich, no. Penn Station. I like Penn Station. I just haven't had it a ton. But I've heard really good things about it. Let's see. Nick says Subway. I haven't had Subway in a long time, and I grew up on Subway, but there's just not one near me, so it just doesn't really get into my rotation. Hey, Mike Dibble is here. Mike, can you please check your Twitter DMs? Not to sound like a creep, but I've been trying to get in contact with you because you won a jersey during NFL free agency, and then you ghosted me. So please help me out, dude. Dibble, good to see you, though. I hope you're having a good day. Frank Turner says Raising Cane's. So these are not sandwich places for half of them. Unless you're talking about a different Cane's. All right. Mailbag, not on today's video, actually, but I still love to get questions. So if you have any questions at all, use hashtag Browns. I'm still happy to answer them. We just won't have that official mailbag that we usually do because we're doing Madden Sims throughout the summer. And if you have a take or a question you want to guarantee that gets on screen, Super Chat. King of Super Chats is Mike Dibble, speak of the devil, and we'll throw it on screen as Joshua Miller just sends in a $2 Super Chat. Cheers to you, Josh. 2-year, $45 million with $25-30 million guaranteed. We'll include that in our video, Josh, by the way. So that's an average of what, like 22 and a half? Yeah, $22.5 million a season. That's a $2.5 million pay bump with $25 to $30 million guaranteed. Call it $30 million, Josh, and that's basically a 2-year, $30 million contract. So that's $15 million.
$15 million a year. Feels...
$15 million for the first 2 seasons, and you can move on before year 3. Well, you say 2 years, so basically it's a 2-year, $30 million contract. So if you wanted to move on after just 1 season, you'd be on the hook for $15 million, give or take, for that second season that he wouldn't be on the team for if you were adamant that we only got 1 good year out of this 2-year contract. So, Josh, you got my vote. I'm on board with this. I do think, and I'm going to explain why in today's video, so I'm not going to show all my cards right now, that Amari Cooper has, A, earned an extension, and B, I think will live up to the extension, which in the moment, all extensions always sound good because they're at the peak of their heights, and then we ultimately see how Father Time can diminish a player. Okay, Josh, do appreciate your Super Chat, though. You are an MVP and a real one here at the Cleveland Browns Report. Super Chat menu today. Any Super Chat gets a shout-out. $2, ask me a question. We'll throw it on screen for everyone watching. $5 if you correctly predict the score, and I'm just going to make it for either team, the Browns score or the Raiders score in our Week 4 Madden simulation. I'm going to do a dog bowl. So just correctly predict the number of the score for either team, and I'll do a dog bowl. $10 Super Chat. We've got our MVP poster for the offseason. We've made a couple of additions to it over the last few weeks. Most recently, we added Chris Lauderay and TJ Showman Golf. So if you want to be added to some Browns history right here and support the channel at the same time, Super Chat $10, and we'll add your name to our MVP poster. And then we're doing a Super Chat battle with the Raiders today because we got Browns, Raiders in our Madden simulation. There's no question that the Raiders Report at Chat Sports is the largest channel when it comes to Super Chats, among many other YouTube metrics as well. So taking down the Raiders in Super Chats, it would be a literal David versus Goliath. I don't really know if it's ever happened. I think Knicks got it once.
Knicks did it once.
Maybe Steelers? I don't know if they've ever gone head to head.
Once.
But
if the Steelers did it, we have to.
They are probably 100-1 the record against everyone that's ever tried to go up against them. So let's take down the Raiders Report in Super Chats today. If you want to support the channel, kind of feed into your competitive side at the same time. Super Chats greatly appreciated, but no pressure whatsoever. All right, coming up on today's show, latest news and rumors surrounding Amari Cooper, Deshaun Watson, and Minicamp. And then I want to do a full breakdown video on the Amari Cooper situation, really get into the weeds on it. So, Cooper, if you are going to return to Minicamp, can you just do it like after I put that video out? I would really be doing me a huge favor, Cooper. And then our Browns versus Raiders Madden simulation. So I think we got a fun video live planned out for you guys today. I'm looking forward to jumping into it. We got 48 people watching, just 14 likes. Not the best ratio. So go ahead, hit that thumbs up button if you have not already. Help support the channel. So if you're unable to super chat, but you still like what we produce here, liking the video also goes a really long way to get us more studio space. Speaking of more studio space, our boss today was kind of running around like a chicken with its head cut off, like with like the blueprints of potential office expansion. So these super chats, which Mike Dibble just sent one, they go a long way to supporting Chat Sports to expand, hire more people, and then we can, as hosts, get more studio space and time to get you guys more content. Dibble with a $10 super chat. Sent you a DM. Sorry about that. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Woo, woo. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Woo, woo. Jeremy Stallman, ladies and gentlemen. A $50 super chat. Jeremy, great to see you. Sorry I'm missing the live show. I'm in recurrent training. Have to get my certification for flying for another year. Watching in silence, reading lips. Keep up the great work. Let's go Browns. I think you might be able to turn subtitles on.
Yeah, I was going to say, turn on your subtitles.
I don't know how well that works or how accurate they are, but Jeremy, best of luck in your certification training. The other night, I don't know about you guys, I'm still a bit of an old soul when it comes to TV. So when I'm kind of just getting ready, going to bed and whatnot, I prefer to put like TV on, like surf the channel guide, and just pick a show rather than spending that time on Netflix trying to find something to watch.
Good call.
And a show that my dad likes, he's a pilot that I've kind of inherited to watch as well, is Aviation Disasters. It's on the Smithsonian
I
Network.
love that show.
Yeah.
I love that show.
Don't recommend watching it the night before, like a trip or anything, but I put it on 2 nights ago, and then my fiance like stumbled in the room, and I was waiting for her to be like, no, I don't want to watch it, turn it off. And then you know that maybe your significant other likes a show when they stop talking and they are just kind of drawn in.
Oh, yeah.
And then last night she's like, can we watch Aviation Disasters? I was like,
See, it's
you
coming
don't
around.
want to watch Selling Sunsets? So shout out to Aviation Disasters. Good program. Sad program, but still good program. Jeremy, best of luck, though. Hope you got some clear skies above and safe travels as you continue to roam the entire country.
There's an interesting show on A&E that's about like people freaking out in like the terminals and in like the gates at planes and stuff, which is really, really interesting. There's a lot of clips on YouTube about those, so if you want that, there's more of that.
We got Tim Green in the house. I feel like I haven't seen you in the chat in a little while, Tim. I hope you've been doing well. Josh, got the new jersey from Fanatics. Love it. Which jersey? Wait a minute. I'm trying to look at your profile picture. What jersey is that, Josh? It looks like a 28 or a 29. What jersey did you get? Who's wearing 28 this year? Naheem Hines is 22. Oh, you got an old JOK jersey. Jeremy Stallman with another $50 super chat. Let's go. Jeremy. No doubter today, the MVP. Jeremy, and here is to everybody that's here in the chat room. Let's go Browns. And here's to everybody that's in the chat room. Let's go Browns. I think Jeremy's also using like Siri text talking capabilities. So yeah, here's to everybody in the chat. To Josh, to Jacob, to Kathy, to Tim Green, Doug Rickers, everyone that's in the chat right now. Shout out to you. I know it's kind of the slow-ish portion of the offseason. There's no draft. There's no free agency. It's syllabus week, essentially, in Berea. But you're still hanging out with me. So pat yourself on the back for being a diehard Browns fan.
What
And
about
Jeremy, give yourself a couple pats on the back for being the biggest real one here at the Browns Report.
Yeah, what about a Here We Go Jeremy chant?
Here we go, Jeremy. Here we go. Woo, woo. Here we go, Jeremy. Here we go. Woo, woo. Okay. Are we ready to jump into the show? I think so. So we're going to talk Amari Cooper. We're going to talk Deshaun Watson. We're going to get to a Browns-Raiders Week 4 Madden simulation. Let's talk about day 1 of Cleveland Browns mandatory minicamp. Browns minicamp opened up today, Tuesday afternoon. So what I want to do is run through what we learned from day 1, including Amari Cooper's absence, Deshaun Watson throwing in team drills for the first time. There's a lot of ground to cover from day 1 of minicamp. If you're looking for a YouTube channel, by the way, to kind of keep you in the loop for the entirety of the offseason, including the slow portions of the offseason, go ahead and subscribe right now. Help us reach 35,000 subscribers. Okay. Let's talk minicamp news. I put a video out about this already on the channel, kind of consolidates everything, but I want to re-hit it because it's the biggest news item the team has had for the last few weeks, I would say. So, Amari Cooper, not in attendance for the first day of mandatory minicamp. It was not an excused absence, so he is subject to fines. Kevin Stefanski never really gave a precise answer as to why Amari Cooper is not present. Everyone alluded to the contract of the final year, and Stefanski didn't dismiss that. So it's a really safe and educated bet that Amari Cooper is not in attendance because he is entering the final year of his contract. It's a $20 million cash contract, so that's what he is set to earn for 2024. He's going to turn 30 years old on June 17th, so you can kind of start to see both sides of the equation, right? Amari Cooper's been this team's best wide receiver the last 2 years. You can argue Amari Cooper in 2 seasons has been the best Browns wide receiver since the return in 1999. And I know that's a boldish statement when you had Josh Gordon for a year and Jarvis Landry for 4 years, but Cooper went back-to-back 1,000-plus yard seasons, and not by like the hair of his chinny chin. Like, he cleared 1,000 yards back-to-back years, and that's the first time that's ever been done by a Browns wide receiver. So there's a lot of importance in Amari Cooper for this team and their success. From the Browns' point of view, he's going to turn 30 in June. Don't see 30-year-old wide receivers get big contracts usually, right? You look at the top 10 highest paid wide receivers. I mean, Jefferson, Brown. Tyreek Hill's kind of the only one that sticks out as one of the, and Devontae Adams, but even Adams is kind of on a bargain now for $28 million, not even top 5. Jalen Waddle is making more than Devontae Adams. So you look at the top 10, there's a lot of young faces on there. And then you look where Amari Cooper lands at 20th, making $20 million a season after he signed that 5-year, $100 million extension with the Dallas Cowboys. So Cooper is probably looking to pick up a little bit more coin because go back to the top 10, this time for receiving leaders last year. Amari Cooper last year with his 1,250 yards finished 10th in receiving. However, he's only the 20th highest paid wide receiver on average annual salary. So you can kind of see Cooper's point of view of the disparity. Wait a minute, I'm 10th in receiving yards, but I'm 20th in pay. Those numbers shouldn't be that far apart. Like, you're never going to get those numbers to be exact, right? I'm sure a team would love to pay a guy that's the 8th leading receiver or the 9th leading receiver exactly 8 or 9, but that's not going to be something you can achieve every single year. Not ideal, for sure, for Amari Cooper to be holding out, but I'm not concerned. I don't think there is even a wink of a chance that Amari Cooper is not on the Browns' 2024 roster. This will get resolved. Whether that's the Browns extend him, the Browns give him some extra cash for this year, or Amari Cooper throws his hands up and goes, all right, fine, you win. I'm coming in, and I'll play on my final year of the contract. Some way or another, this will get resolved. Amari Cooper is just way too valuable to the Browns for him not to be on the team in 2024. There's just no possible earthly scenario where Amari Cooper is not a Cleveland Brown in 2024. So 0% of a chance of a trade too, by the way. I'll just add that right now. No chance that Amari Cooper gets traded. I do kind of wonder from Amari Cooper's perspective, when the Browns extended Jerry Jeudy, how do you think that made Cooper feel? It's a business. You know, you can't be too in your emotions. But here's Amari Cooper, back-to-back 1,000-plus yard seasons. He has been the most consistent, literally the most consistent player on this offense the last 2 years. The Browns trade for Jerry Jeudy and already get an extension done for him before he plays a snap for Cleveland. Look at it through Amari Cooper's lens. He may not take a liking to that. Nothing against Jerry Jeudy, but like if I were Cooper, and you can kind of apply this to any career field, you've been the number one guy at your office for 2 straight seasons, and all of a sudden, like, Jim Halpert transfers in from the Scranton branch, and they give him a raise before Andy Bernard. I mean, that's not the best comparison because Jim would be the Andy or Amari's Jim in this scenario, but still, you get the point. Amari Cooper's been awesome, and the Browns got an extension done with Jerry Jeudy before they even got something done with the number one guy in the offense the last 2 years. That's probably not going to sit super well. That doesn't scream, hey, this is a team that's got, their priorities in order, in my opinion. That's got to be what I think goes through Amari Cooper's head. Could be totally wrong. That's just my speculation. So, would you be open to extending Amari Cooper? Give me a yes or a no in the comment section. Cool guy called Zone right now, longtime viewer, sending in warm take. At the end of the season, Coop is gone, and the Browns get a top wide receiver in the 2025 draft. Somewhat warm. That would be a warm take, I would say. Are you saying that Amari Cooper is gone following the 2024 season? I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility. Entering the last year of his contract. As things stand right now, that is what's the collision course is set for. I could also see the Browns getting back into round 1 of the NFL draft, deciding why pay Amari Cooper when we can just draft a new wide receiver and get someone a lot younger and a lot cheaper. I mean, there are some pros and cons to both sides of the argument here. We're going to get more in detail, by the way, on Cooper in our next segment here on the live show. So if you like this content, please stick around. We're going to do a much more thorough and deep dive on it, kind of what Cool Guy is talking about here. Second news item from day 1 of minicamp, Deshaun Watson. I want to tell you all about his day at mandatory minicamp. Before I do, though, summer is here, which means certain parts of you may begin to sweat and then smell. But kick the bad odor to the curb with Mando whole body deodorant. Put it on your pits, package, feet, and beyond for whole body freshness. From the makers of Lumi deodorant, this game-changing formula is safe for your entire body and knocks out odor like a champ. Plus, the DAWG Pound can get $5 off their starter pack when you use code CHAT at shopmando.com. That starter pack, by the way, it's got so many awesome features to it. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice like mini body wash and deodorant wipes, plus free shipping. Now, luckily, I've got a discount code to help you guys get hooked up on my favorite smelling whole body deodorant on the market. New customers can get $5 off a starter pack with our exclusive code CHAT. That equates to over 40% off your starter pack when you use code CHAT at shopmando.com. That's shopmando.com. I put all that information in the comments and description of today's video. So let's talk about Deshaun Watson now. Flip the page over from Amari Cooper. Number 4 was throwing at the first day of minicamp. And even more impressively, he was throwing during 7-on-7s. Now, baby steps here, but he wasn't throwing during any kind of defensive practice during OTAs. Like, he only threw against the defense of the wind. No actual defenders on the field a few weeks ago. And on the first day of minicamp, he is throwing against a live defense in 7-on-7s. Now, he did not throw during 11-on-11s. That's when Jameis Winston stepped in as the team's, QB1 for those drills. But a lot of the passes I saw from Deshaun Watson, they had velocity. There were some misses. I'm not going to sugarcoat it and say every single pass was a beautiful, perfect pass. No, he missed David Njoku in the end zone. Should have thrown an interception to Martin Emerson. If 23 could have made the squeeze on the ball. So there were definitely some misfires for sure. But the velocity, which when you look at it from like a pitching lens here, like when your star pitcher comes back from Tommy John, maybe there's some command issues early on, but you still want to know that guy can throw 100 miles an hour. Deshaun Watson, he still has that in the chamber. So really encouraging stuff from Deshaun Watson. You can look at the timeline in his progress here from shoulder surgery November 21st to June 11th. What is that? December, January, February, March, April, May, June. I mean, a little under 7 months, and he's throwing at the first day of OTAs, and then same goes for minicamp. Yeah, I'm really encouraged by Deshaun Watson's progress. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind he'll be ready to go for week 1 against the Cowboys. I just hope that he is ready for day 1 of training camp at the end of July in about 6 weeks or so. Some other notes I want to relay. Ken Dorsey was calling plays during practice today. We've heard that Stefanski and Dorsey have been alternating as play callers. Kind of feels like the general sense and direction and vibe is Dorsey is going to be this team's play caller in 2024. No Jerry Jeudy or Amari Cooper, for that matter, for Deshaun Watson to throw to. We know why Cooper wasn't there. Jerry Jeudy was working inside the facility, battling some injury, so not really sure how he sustained that injury, how serious it is. Stefanski or anyone else didn't sound overly concerned about it, but definitely a bummer. Speaking of injuries, our final takeaway from day one of minicamp, we got some injury notes, some progress reports on some guys as a handful of players are still working their way back from serious injuries last year. Nick Chubb and Naheem Hines, two guys are coming off ACL injuries. They were working to the side. No Jerry Jeudy, like I mentioned. Not really sure exactly what the issue is. James Prochet also working to the side. Joel Petonio, I just think it's more of a veteran rest thing for him. Jack Conklin and Jed Wills both coming back from knee surgeries as well. And then Cam Mitchell, the second-year corner, unsure what his issue is. So the good news is DeJuan Jones is not on that list. So the Browns have one of the three top tackles back before we even get to the end of mandatory minicamp. The bad news is still working on getting Jed Wills back. And it's early. It's June. Don't even need to think about the panic button. But obviously, sooner is better than later. However, we still have 6 weeks to go until day one of just training camp. 12 weeks to go, which is the final piece of good news here, until week 1 against the Dallas Cowboys. So we are still a long ways away from week 1. So that's the good news. A long way to go for everyone to still get healthy and get back on the field. So I'm not concerned. In a perfect world, everyone is 100% every single practice, but that's a perfect world. We don't live in that utopia. This is football. There's going to be injuries. There's going to be guys working through them, and the hope and goal is that everyone is ready for the first day of training camp, and then everyone is absolutely ready for the first game of the season. All right, random question I want to ask to wrap up the show. If you could turn injuries off for a player, who would that be for the Browns? Nick Chubb is interesting because, man, you got to wonder what last year could have been like. If they just added Chubb to the mix, even without Watson for, about 2/3 of the year, that's a different type of offense. Like, that would have been really exciting. But outside of missing some games in 2021, Nick Chubb really hasn't been injury-plagued whatsoever. So I'm curious to see what names you guys come up with. Other notes, special teams, Jerome Ford and Pierre Strong Jr. were the two return men on the kick returns. Naheem Hines, I expect to step into that role, but as he comes back from an ACL injury, those are your two return guys. DTR is throwing. He was working through a hip injury to start OTAs. Good to see him on the field. And we also got to see the Browns defense doing some in-practice live film review. The Browns coaching staff talked about the importance of being able to break down film on the practice field. Like, watch a play, see a mistake made by someone, go over to the monitor and go, this is what happened, this is the mistake, this is the correction, let's go do that right now. Whereas before, you get through the whole practice, then you go to your team meetings, and in the team meetings, your defensive line coach, your wide receiver coach chews you out for something, and you got to wait till the next day in practice to correct that error. Now the goal is to make those corrections a lot quicker. All right, let's bring on Trizzy Trace to pick a card here. Trace, which card would you like to go with?
7 of spades.
7. Fuck my eardrums. 7 of spades.
Sorry.
It's okay.
7 of spades.
I'm going to go with the Jack of Clubs. You know what's funny? Is that I said in my head, I don't want to get this one right because this is not going to be a video that gets published.
I was sitting here. I don't want to get it right either.
It's a fucking Jack of Clubs.
No way!
I picked the card I thought sure wouldn't be it.
Maybe that's the strategy now.
We already put the video out today for this segment. So we just kind of went through it again for everyone tuning in for the first time during the live show. But usually we cut up the segments from the live and then put them out throughout the week as videos in case people can't tune into the live. This one's not going to get cut up, but I thought, we'll still do the card. Everyone loves the card. And I get the fucking card, and it doesn't count. Gosh. Okay. Breathe. Serenity now. Super chat menu. Super chat menu. Any super chat, you get a shout out. $2 super chat. Ask me a question like, Petey, if you had to pick a card when it didn't matter, what would you pick? $5 super chat. If you send in a $5 super chat and correctly predict the score for either the Browns or the Raiders, just need to get one of the two teams' score prediction correct, I'll do a full dog bowl after the game. $10, we add you to our Dog Pound MVP poster for the entire offseason. And we are battling the Raiders report in Super Chats. We're at 111, call it 112. Want to message Jeremy to see where they're at? The Raiders channel should still be live. They go live a little bit earlier than us, but we'll see where the Raiders are at. I'm going to guess they're probably in the 350s. I think that's an appropriate guess. I didn't hear any gongs, excuse me. Gongs is a sign of it's getting wild on the Raiders report.
I haven't heard a ton of yelling either.
Yeah, that's also a good sign. I can't believe it.
Okay, so they're at 556.
556. Okay, so we are a little bit off, but you know what? I'm not going to put any doubt on this chat right now. We got some big hitters in the chat today. So if you want to take down the Raiders report in Super Chats before we play them in Madden, really appreciate it. It's also just a great way to support the channel in general. I can't believe I got it right when it doesn't count.
See, I was sitting here hoping that wouldn't happen to me, and it happened.
What was your card again?
I was the 7 of.
No, next one is Queen of Clubs. Oh my gosh. Okay. It's all right. I think one time Tex got the card right, but then the video had to get deleted because something in the video was super dated, so it never got posted. So it doesn't count.
So it never happened.
There's no evidence of it. There's no proof of it. All right. Next up on the show, I want to do a little bit more of a deep dive on Amari Cooper. Oh, we got a $20 super chat from Raul. First time super chat. A little 2-clap action. We'll throw it on screen for you, Mr. Raul. Little 1-2. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Woof, woof. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Woof, woof. Raul Sotelo. Yeah, that's good. Sotelo. You know, the thing about this job is everything is a lot easier when the bright lights aren't on you and you're not talking to a wall and a camera. But Raul Sotelo, thank you so much for the super chat. Really, really appreciate you supporting the channel like that. Chipping away. Raul Sotelo right there. You know what that is? Yeah, I'll tell you what that is. That is on 2nd and 10, opening drive against the Cowboys, finding David Njoku for 20 yards. You know, the first play is an incomplete pass, and everyone's like, oh, shit, season's over.
I love it.
Like, Deshaun Watson, misses an open guy, and everyone's starting to panic. And then what does he do? He finds Njoku in the seam. That's Raul in this case right here, and the Browns are already out towards midfield.
You move the sticks, you keep it going.
Exactly. Raul, cheers to you. Thank you so much, man. Go Brownies, Raul. Go Brownies. We got to add Raul to the Dog Pound poster. Thank you. Producer Trace. Doing my job for me. Okay. Raul Sotelo. Is that Hispanic? All right, Raul. Spanish? Raul has been etched into Cleveland Browns history. I mean, he's right there with Jim Brown.
The greats.
The greats. Raul, thank you so much. Cool guy. Hey, Petey, who do you think is a receiver that the Browns go and get? I don't think they go get anyone. I don't think the Browns are in the market of adding a wide receiver in free agency unless an injury pops up or something awful happens with Amari Cooper. I don't think the Browns feel the need to add any other wide receivers. Correct. By the way, this next segment, it will get posted as a video. And if I don't get the card right, I'm not going to be dramatic, but just going to be very bummed out. I'm going to be like Michael Scott on the rooftop. Oh, there's the gong. Can you guys hear it? Yeah,
Scott,
if you hear the gong, it means, Raul just got us a 15-yard completion to David Njoku. The Raiders just scored 21 points in 3 straight plays.
There you have it.
Yeah.
And they got a pick 6.
And one was so I think it would be kick return for a touchdown. Then they kick off and pick 6 on the very first play. And then they go back on defense and another fumble recovery by Max Crosby. That's what just happened. and somehow they still believe that Aiden O'Connell is a good quarterback.
Yeah, I don't know they're trying to what propaganda they're trying to feed them, but it's unbelievable.
Yeah, funny, like true story. This is all true. Oh shoot, I think we forgot to get Joey earlier. Were we supposed to retrieve you? Okay. Okay, good. Yeah, be in meetings. All right, good. Get the new guy here, and I was like, I was supposed to have him be in the live show, and then I forgot. Aiden O'Connell, fun fact, true fact, is a loose relative of mine.
Wait, really?
Yes, my grandma's cousin is his grandma.
That's crazy.
It's something just like that. My grandma's sister, right? You kind of think about the family tree. My grandma's sister, that's his like grandma's cousin or something like that.
So I guess he's coming on the Raiders report. He has to be.
I don't think so because I've given my honest opinion on AOC in every video, and it hasn't been glowing. So I don't think. First off, he would recognize my last name as like, oh yeah, but he wouldn't. Yeah, but he wouldn't know who the heck I am at all. We've never met, and I'm still not even sure the connection we have. It's been explained to me 5 times, and every time I know for like 24 hours, and then I forget.
Damn.
If this video gets past to him, I do think he would sympathize and be like, I do know what he's talking about, but I don't know what the connection is either.
Well, I'm sure that his grandma's telling him about how it's like, oh yeah, there's this YouTuber that it's our grandma's cousin's sister or something.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk Amari Cooper now. Let's talk about the holdout and whether or not it makes sense for the Browns to extend him, what an extension could look like, all that good stuff. So, are we ready to jump into it? All right, here we go. We're talking Amari Cooper, who has our undivided attention for the next, 10, 12 minutes. Coming up on today's show, I want to talk all Amari Cooper, the holdout, the possible outcomes, what an extension could look like, everything in between and across the board for Amari Cooper. So, before we get any further, I do love to hear from our wonderful viewers. What's your concern level over Amari Cooper's holdout? Scale it 1 to 10 for me. We're filming this during our live show Tuesday afternoon. So, as things stand right now, I'd put myself at a 1. I just truly believe there is no way Amari Cooper is not on this team for 2024. But it is a 1 because we can't be at a 0 when he is holding out. So let's talk about some of the options and then the outcomes and kind of give the pros and cons for both sides of the argument here. Option number 1, the Browns give Amari Cooper a raise. The early reports are that Amari Cooper is looking for a contract extension. Maybe he settles for a raise if the Browns are not interested in extending a 30-year-old wide receiver. We have seen a couple of notable guys get raises just for being really good at their jobs. Christian McCaffrey, before he got that 2-year, $39 million, $38 million extension, the 49ers just gave him an extra $8 million because he's Christian McCaffrey. The Raiders gave Max Crosby a $6 million raise for what he was originally scheduled to do. No other change to his contract, no years added or anything like that, just a raise. So maybe Amari Cooper goes, all right, well, if I can't get an extension, I'll take a raise. The Browns can afford it. They've got $13.7 million in cap space. They can also open up an extra $35-ish million in cap space if they restructure Deshaun Watson's contract, which that's a whole separate can of worms, and I'm not trying to open that up entirely, but I'll leave you with this. A restructure is not Deshaun Watson taking less money or anything like that. It is simply taking a player's base salary and prorating it over signing bonuses for the remaining years they are under contract. There are pros and cons to restructures, but the Browns could restructure Deshaun Watson's contract and open up extra cap space that way if they are truly worried about having enough money for 2024. That's option number 1. Option number 2 is you could extend Amari Cooper. This is a little bit more of a complex option, right? There's much greater pros and cons to extending Amari Cooper. Now, I cooked up a contract extension idea, and it's a 3-year, $63 million extension. That's an average of $21 million a season. So a slight increase from what he's currently making, which is $20 million a season. Guarantee $40 million. So really, it's a 2-year, $40 million contract, which is the same as what he's making right now, $20 million. And look at the highest paid wide receivers in football. Amari Cooper, not even really close to the top 10. Is Amari Cooper a top 10 wide receiver? Maybe, maybe not, but he's currently the 20th highest paid wide receiver. So the Browns are getting him for an absolute bargain at the moment. I'm willing to bet on Amari Cooper, though, because if you make this extension, you are at least investing in him for 2025 and 2026. He's under contract for 2024. So you are betting to the tune of $40 million, give or take, that you can get 3 more good seasons from Amari Cooper. And for a guy that's about to turn 30 years old, that's a gamble. I know Amari Cooper the last 2 years has looked bulletproof, and he doesn't look like a guy that's going to slow down at all. And I'm in agreement with you, but we know it's the NFL and things change. I mean, Amari Cooper the last 2 years with the Browns compared to his final 2 seasons in Dallas, I mean, he's almost getting better as he gets older. I mean, 10 fewer receptions, but despite that, 2,400 yards, 14 touchdowns. Sometimes as wide receivers get up in the age column, the average goes down because they don't have that big explosive play anymore, and they're just pretty much there to move the sticks. But that's not the case with Amari Cooper at all. Now, if we go back in time, Andrew Berry at the NFL owners meeting talked about Amari Cooper and said, look, Coop's a Pro Bowl caliber receiver. He's played really well for us the past 2 years. He's a strong presence in the locker room. We love him. So players like that, you want to make sure that you can retain as long as possible. And we'll work through all that at appropriate times. Actions speak louder than words. Andrew Berry may have said the Browns want to keep Amari Cooper as long as possible, but the reality is until they extend him, that may just kind of be chatter and not actually what they mean deep down. Now, I remember reading this article from ESPN's Bill Barnwell about the future of the wide receiver position after Justin Jefferson's record extension, which made him the highest paid player, non-quarterback. And I thought a couple of snippets of it would be really interesting to you guys. Barnwell wrote, over the past 5 years, by the Jimmy Johnson value chart, teams have used 15.3% of their available draft capital on wide receivers. That's the most for any 5-year span since the league moved to the 7-round draft format in 1994. They've used more than 17% of their draft capital on wideouts 4 times over that 31-year span, and 2 of those occasions have come in the past 4 years, 2022 and 2024. Now, what does this mean in English? 2 things to me. 1, teams use wide receivers more, right? Unfortunately, the fullback has been replaced with a third wide receiver for most offensive sets. So as teams use wide receivers more, it's much more advantageous for teams to have a much deeper wide receiver room and to have more good players at that position. That's one part of it. The second part is there's a rise of college wide receivers. Look at how much A.J. Brown, Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill, all those top wide receivers are making, and look at how much the best running backs are making. If you're a young athlete coming out of high school going into college, which position is going to make you more money? Wide receiver, and it's not even close. Everyone wants to play wide receiver. That's why you're seeing so many wide receivers come out every single year in the draft so high up. Every single draft class, it feels like it tops the previous year's draft class. And it doesn't seem fathomable in the moment, but then we get Malik Neighbors, Marvin Harrison Jr., Roma Dunze. All 3 of those guys could have been the first wide receiver taken if they were in separate draft classes. That's how talented the wide receiver pool is. So teams are drafting more wide receivers, which means teams aren't interested in paying older wide receivers because they can just go to the draft and go get Puka Nacua. Day 3 pick. He was top 5 in receiving yards last year. Now, there's no guarantee that you're going to always find a Puka Nacua, but we are seeing that the wide receiver talent pool is getting better by the year. So, unfortunately for aging receivers like Amari Cooper, the Browns could just forego giving him a 3-year, $60 million extension and instead draft a guy round 1, hopefully pick 32, and pay him 4 years, $25 million. And that's a lot more bang for your buck. Now, there's also no sure thing in the NFL. Well, I am in favor of extending Amari Cooper because I do think he has earned it, and I do think he will live up to the extension. I do think we have to take our head out of the sand for a moment and realize that sometimes these heroes of ours don't last forever. Take Julio Jones, for example. He was on top of the wide receiver world. He got a contract extension in 2019, and the 55 games he played before receiving that extension, he had 5,600 yards and 20 touchdowns. The following 55 games, 2,900 yards and 15 touchdowns. So quite the dip after signing the extension. How about our old friend Odell Beckham Jr.? The 47 games leading up to his contract extension, 4,400 yards, 48 touchdowns. The next 47 games, down to 2,800 yards and 17 touchdowns. In the moment, it always sounds good. But there are some good historical examples of sometimes players do not live up to the extension that we think they will. However, I am still confident in Amari Cooper because I don't think it's right to compare Cooper to those two players in those examples. For starters, Julio Jones battled chronic soft tissue injuries. Amari Cooper has been an Iron Man his entire NFL career. Yes, he did miss a little bit of time at the end of last season, but that was just a precautionary measure after the Browns clinched a playoff spot against the Jets. In fact, since Amari Cooper entered the league in 2015, he is second in games played by all wide receivers with 140, only trailing Tyler Lockett, ahead of Mike Evans, Brandon Cooks, Stephon Diggs. So Julio Jones started to crumble because his body was crumbling. Amari Cooper has always been available. And then as for OBJ, I think we can all agree that OBJ and Amari Cooper mentally are in very different headspaces. And I think Amari Cooper isn't on a path to go off a cliff a little bit. Sort of like what OBJ was on when he was, going Kung Fu Panda on kicking nets on the sidelines. So would you extend Amari Cooper? At the end of the video, what are your thoughts? Give me a yes, give me a no. I'm on board with extending Amari Cooper. I don't think he is about to fall off a cliff. I still think he can be a really productive player. And yes, you would be investing in an aging asset, but I still think he can produce at a very high level. And that frees up your first-round draft pick next year to use it elsewhere. Say left tackle, which I think is a pretty important position, and you could use one after this year. We're going to bring on producer Trace to pick a card. Trace, which card do you want to go with?
I'm liking the 7 of hearts.
Okay. I thought you were going to say a different card to troll me. I got the card correct on an unofficial video, and that's been haunting me ever since. I'm going to go with the King of Clubs. Go upstairs one. You like it? We also got the new guy, Joey Peterson, here today. Joey, which card do you want to go with?
2 of diamonds.
2 of diamonds. I like the conviction. It just sounds like a highly educated guy
really?
right there.
Oh, my God.
You know, in some cultures, that's the highest card.
In some cultures.
In some cultures.
Not in this culture.
Some games. I'm going to go as a King of Clubs. What'd you say? Nah, idiot. 9 of diamonds. 9 of diamonds. All right. That will do it for us on today's show. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Shout out to Christopher Stofira for getting the card correct. We'll sign off, and we'll see you all later. Would you extend Amari Cooper? Yes or no? I'm saying yes. By the way, shout out to Chris. He said 9 of diamonds in the chat before I pulled the card. William Jones says trade him and get younger. No. I'm going to veto that. Not interested. Absolutely not. There is no trading Amari Cooper in this household.
Only for the sake of the conversation. What do you think the Browns could get in a trade?
That's a fair question. For a guy entering the last year of his contract, 30 years old, $20 million in cash due this year, $23 million cap hit. I think the Browns could get a third-round draft pick for him. Yes, Mr. Joey. Yeah, they had a day 3. I do think Amari Cooper's value has gone up since the Browns did that day 3 pick swap with the Cowboys. A couple of contributing factors. One, he's played great football the last 2 years. Like, there's no doubt in my mind that the last 2 years has been the best 2-year stretch of his career. Second, the Browns were able to get Cooper for day 3 pick swaps because they were willing to take on 3 years left of his contract. A team trading for him now isn't committing to Amari Cooper for the next 3 years. They're committing to him for the next season. So there's pros and cons to that committal for a player, but when you're looking at a 30-year-old wide receiver, you may have a tough time finding a team willing to commit to someone for 3 more years. Commit to a guy coming off the best year of his NFL career. Not quite, but one of the best years of his NFL career for a third-round pick. There's going to be some contenders that will definitely go, yeah, let's light that third-round pick on fire and let's go make this happen. So I think that's something that could be in the range for Amari Cooper. But oftentimes I think fans overestimate a player's trade value, and then we see the player get dealt, and it's kind of a reminder that GMs, they love picks. That is their currency. That is the way they spend, by drafting. And so to move on from valuable draft picks, it takes a lot. So I think Amari Cooper would go for a third. I wonder if a player has ever been traded 3 times in their career and the value of the trade go from first to fifth to third. You know what I mean? Because Cooper went from the Raiders to the Cowboys for a first, so can't get much better value than that. Then he goes all the way to being a 5th-round value, and now he's valued a third. Like, have you ever seen that happen before?
Snip, snap.
Yeah, great, bad, good. It's tough to get traded just 3 times in general. Like, that's not a very common thing.
Well, I was going to literally say that. It's like, imagine getting traded 3 different times. Like, 3 different teams, free agency happens, whatever.
Right.
But 3 trades is insane.
I agree. I completely agree. Okay, should we jump into our Madden simulation? I'm excited. Here we go. Yes, sir. Okay, so next up on the show, we've got our Browns versus Raiders Madden sim. It is week 4 in the Madden world. The Browns are 1-2. They come off their first win of the season after going winless the first 2 weeks, taking down the New York Football Giants. Now they get set for 3 straight road games, starting off in the Sin City against the Raiders. All right, are we ready to rumble, Mr. Trace? All right. Yeah, but where's program? I need it somewhere, yeah. Okay, so if you're ready, start spamming CLE in the chat right now. Let's go. It's Madden time here on the Browns Report as we're going to simulate and react to the Browns-Raiders Week 4 matchup. In the Madden world, the Browns are 1-2. They dropped their first 2 games of the season, but they did bounce back in Week 3 and take down the New York Football Giants. So let me know who you got in this game. You got the Brownies or you got the Raiders? Get in the comment section to let me know as we open up Week 4 from Allegiant Stadium, Browns versus Raiders, and I'm pumped up. This is the first of 3 straight road games for Cleveland. So we saw last year the Browns struggle on the road especially. They had a back-to-back West Coast trip with Denver and LA, dropping both those games. But really important for them to start this road trip on a bit of a high note here, getting set for the Raiders, who I don't expect to be very competitive this season. But let me know. Browns-Raiders, baby. Who you got? Cleveland, or let's say Oakland, or Las Vegas? I want to know who you got in the comment section. Browns versus Raiders. That looks like Jameis Winston getting fired up on the sideline. Watson with still the most oddly shaped torso in the world. Gardner Minshew slapping some helmets, getting chest pads ready. Who you got? We're getting ready to kick it off here between the Browns and the Raiders. It will be Cleveland to start the game with the Las Vegas Raiders set to kick off. Daniel Carlson, the Auburn alum, ready to put his right foot into it. Kevin Stefanski, I think he's slimmed down. Is that supposed to be Antonio Pierce? I don't think that's Antonio Pierce. Oh, boy. Madden, EA Sports, they never disappoint. All right. This is the longest kickoff warm-up I've ever seen here. Nyheim Hines is the world's worst kick returner in this game, by the way. I don't know who's at Madden he slept with, whose wife it was, but they have shadow banned him. He's not going to get to the 20. Oh, my gosh. They get him to the 22. Okay. So the Browns offense will step on the field first. Deshaun Watson and company rocking the throwback unis. Did you put them in these uniforms? So producer Trey's just decided, you know what? Fashion show time. Let's get the Browns fashion show at lunch. Let's get the Browns throwback unis on. Here we go. Browns offense on the field. The offense and the Deshaun Watson-led crew have been good this year. Defense has been cheeks. Watson on 1st and 10. Throws to his right. That is caught. First down. Let's go. Nice throw and catch by Watson to Nick Chubb, who is off to a really strong start in his comeback player of the year bid. 1st and 10 Brownies. Chubb. Going to move the ball down the field. Yeah. Snap to Watson on 1st and 10, approaching midfield. Quick throw to his right. That's caught. First down. Jerry Jeudy. Welcome back to the AFC West. And Jeudy has the Browns with a bit of a spasm, and he's already up on his feet and we're ready to roll. 1st and 10, Cleveland. They're across the 50-yard line. High fives all around. Way to go, Joel. They're at the Raiders 42. Watson under center. 2 quick passes, picked up well over 25 yards. Watson has that throw go nowhere. Looked like he might have been hit as he delivered the pass. Not really sure, but it's 2nd and 10. Scoreless in the first quarter. Grant Delpit, eager to get on the field. I don't know why. He sucks him at it. The whole defense is awful. Sorry, Grant. Great in real life. Once again, EA Sports hates the Browns defense. Snap to Watson in the gun. It's a handoff, and Chubb doesn't have a lot of room to run. Gain of about 3, and that brings up 3rd and 7. So 3rd down. I think they're slightly still outside of field goal range. Dustin Hopkins, while he was perfect from 50 yards beyond last year, this would be a long 50-yarder. Watson under center from the 39. It's a drop back. Throwing over the middle. That's caught. First down. Browns moving the sticks yet again. This time, the Chief, David Njoku. 1st and 10, third first down of the series. And Cleveland is at the Raiders' 30-yard line. First down Brownies, span those ones. I love even in Madden, they simulate someone blocking the camera. Like, we don't need to do that in Madden. 1st and 10 for Watson. Snap, handoff, Chubb running. Chubb with some room. Chubb, stick arm. Let's go. Runs over a defender, and Chubb has the Browns inside the red zone. At least Nick Chubb is going to have a tremendous bounce-back season. Can't say the same about the defense this year so far. Although I'm being very critical, they have yet to play a snap. From the 15, Watson under the gun, under shotgun, I beg your pardon, under center. Handoff, run again for Chubb to the left side. That's good for about 5 yards. The Browns eating up a lot of clock on this first drive here. I mean, this has been a, 3-minute opening drive so far. 2nd and 5 coming up. They're going to have most of the first quarter to themselves. From the 9-yard line in shotgun. Snap to Deshaun. It's another run for Chubb to the right side. Chubb slips out of 1 tackle. Chubb taken down at the 2. Nick Chubb with a good showing on the opening drive through the air and on the ground. It's 1st and goal. Good guys. Let's go. Look at the defense high-fiving like they did anything. I formation. Watson under center. I'm going to miss Nick Harris as the fullback. Run for Chubb. Touchdown! Chubb! Superman dive into the end zone. Cleveland's on top first. Let's go. Let's go, Brownies. Nick Chubb. 2-yard plunge. And the Browns strike first. 6-0 Brownies. Spam TD. Good blocking up front. Oh, what a nice finishing by Wyatt Teller there. Get the pulling guard. Pin pull action. Hopkins on for the extra point. Ate up a lot of clock too. There is nothing better. I'm going to rank things that make you feel a special way. Summer beers, airport beers, opening drive, touchdown on the road, eating up over half of the first quarter. That's the kind of shit that makes you feel like you're on top of the world. Just walked into their house and pissed all over their living room. Kickoff to restart the game. I do wish Madden had the new kickoff rules. That'd be fun to watch. High into the desert sky. Return out across the 10 to the 20. And not much further than that. So now we'll see Gardner Minshew and the Raiders against the biggest Swiss cheese defense Madden has ever seen, the Cleveland Browns. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just scroll through some of the last couple of Browns Madden streams we've done. No justice given to Myles Garrett. Watch him at the bottom of the defensive line. He is playing touch football. 1st and 10. It's a run to the left. Oh, my God. Okay, Garrett makes a tackle. Good job, Myles. Gain of 4. I got no ill will against the defense. It's just a Madden they suck. Who is that? I don't know who that is. I really hope that's not supposed to be Antonio Pierce. Yeah, it kind of does. 2nd and 6. I formation for Minshew. It's another run. No, play fake. Minshew climbing the pocket. He's sacked! Down he goes! Zadarius Smith and Alex Wright. Let's go. Browns get, I think, just their 2nd sack of the season. Watch Zadarius Smith. They got him in the wrong number. It's not 52. Did he change numbers? I don't think he changed numbers. Am I bad at my job? I might have a problem on my hands here. No way Zadarius Smith changed to 52. Oh, what did I miss? I was looking.
4th and 27.
Get her the sack. Let's go. Zadarius Smith is 99. I don't know what that was. I'm too focused on EA Sports fucking up. Brian Allen is 52 as well. All right, whatever. Myles Garrett, you have my attention. Let's go. Couple of sacks here. And the Browns defense was sleepwalking the first 3 weeks of the season or so. They made Daniel Jones look like John Elway. Now they've got the Raiders backed up. 4th and 27. Quick punt is off. And it's going to be a short punt. Return starts the 45 across the 50 and out to the Raiders' 45-yard line. So Cleveland with a 7-0 lead steps onto the field in enemy territory with a little under a minute to go in the first quarter. 7-0 good guys. Let's go. What's going to happen? Touchdown, field goal, turnover, or punt. 1st and 10 from the 45. Watson empty set, takes the snap. Going deep. Caught. Big first play. Let's go. Out to the 35, 25-yard line. Nick Chubb yet again on the receiving end of a big play for Cleveland. And Antonio Pierce mixed and mashed with Raheem Morris is pissed. 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line. Watson under center. Takes the snap. Little wide receiver screen, and they get Amari Cooper get involved for the first time today. Gain of 4, and that's the end of the first quarter. The Browns lead at 7-0 with the ball in striking distance. Been tough sledding so far for this Raiders defense, or Raiders offense and defense for that matter. Before we get to the second quarter, though, if you want to get some new Browns gear in your life, say like a Cleveland Browns polo similar to this one, go to chatsports.com/CLE Polo. I put the link already in the comments and description of today's video, but it's a great way to re-up your Browns wardrobe while also staying cool during the summer months. First quarter in the books from Allegiant Stadium. Now we're getting set for the second quarter of action. Sorry, we're hopping around a little bit. Okay. Technical difficulties as they show us the highlights to the end of the first quarter. We watched Nick Chubb haul in a big pass, and then the final play of the first quarter was this quick strike from Deshaun Watson to Amari Cooper on a bit of a wide receiver, quick bubble screen. Not quite a bubble screen, just a quick out to him to get him the football in space. And that's the last play of the first quarter, and now we get ready for the second quarter. Browns, Raiders, 7-0 Cleveland. 1-2 on the year so far for the Brownies, but they can get back to 500 today with a win. 2nd and 6. Here we go. Start of the second quarter. Wait. Time out. Trace, we skipped something. Okay. I'm sorry, everyone. All right, here we go. Start of the second quarter. Take 2. Second quarter underway from the 21-yard line. It is Watson under center. Run to Chubb to the right side. And Chubb able to stiff arm one defender, but unable to get to the first down marker. It'll bring up 3rd and 4. I don't know why. I just had this gut feeling they're not going to get the first down here. I'm feeling a field goal, maybe a 10-0 lead. I don't know. 3rd and 4. Raiders defenders not ready for the play. Watson in shotgun. Just inside the red zone. Snap to number 4. Watson pressured, and he only is able to throw it to the ground for an incomplete pass. The Raiders brought the heat. Looked like Christian Wilkins and Max Crosby, which, by the way, I do like the Madden Sims because it does remind you of the other teams' offseason acquisitions. The Raiders are going to have a really mean, nasty front with Christian Wilkins and Max Crosby. So be on the lookout for that. Field goal attempt is up, and it is good. So Hopkins puts it through for an extra 3 points, and the lead has grown to 10. 10-0 good guys. The Raheem Morris stunt double is not panicking just yet, but definitely upset. Kevin Stefanski having a word with the official. Got to call it both ways, Blue. 10-0 Browns. Hopkins getting ready to kick it off. Raiders trying to at least move forward. They've yet to do that so far. They've just gone backwards, I think. Maybe one positive play on the run, actually. Kickoff is returned from 1 yard deep, across the 15, out to the 20, out to the 25, and stop before the 30. So solid starting field position for Gardner Minshew. Returns back towards the West Coast, where he played much of his college ball. 1st and 10 for the Raiders, up against this Browns defense, which flexed its muscles in their pass rushing skills the first series. It's a run for Zamir White, and White gets about 6 yards on 1st and 10. I'm going to warn everyone right now, don't fall trap to something everyone does during their fantasy football draft, which is got to take this running back. He's the starting running back for that team. If he's not good, don't draft him. I don't think there's a single good Raiders running back. White had a good end of the last season, but I'm not interested. 2nd and 4, Zamir White is able to get just about that many yardage, and it gets a first down for the Raiders. No Josh Jacobs. He's a Green Bay Packer. 1st and 10 Raiders, approaching the midway point of the second quarter. I formation at their own 40-yard line. Almost like Garoppolo. Minshew takes the snap, throws over the middle. That's caught. Big gain, Devontae Adams. Oh, Jacoby Myers, I beg your pardon. Myers, who's done a really solid job for the Raiders since coming over. Remember, he's been an excellent Raider for 2 years. One with the New England Patriots on the bad lateral play, and then just last year with the actual Raiders themselves. 1st and 10 for Minshew at the Browns' 38-yard line. Adams put in motion, snap to Minshew. It's a pass. Pressure, throws. Incomplete. There we go. Juan Thornhill. That's right. No one talks more shit in Madden than Juan Thornhill. Every week, he's running his mouth. 2nd and 10. Probably not in Carlson field goal range. Maybe actually 38, 48. I would say they would trot him out here from this distance still. It's a run for White, and he is bullied at the line of scrimmage. That's Jeremiah Usu-Koromoa coming up for the big play. Third down. Spam those threes. 3rd and 10. Let's get a stop. Let's get a stop. 3rd and 10. Snap to Minshew. Looking. Rolling. Pressure. Down he goes! Myles Garrett gets him for a second time in the half. 4th and 16, and the Raiders will be forced to punt. The Browns defense stands tall on 3rd and 10. And the Raiders trot out the punting unit. The kick is up. And the return will be non-existent. It goes out of bounds. Deshaun Watson, high fives for the defense. Offense trying to build off of their 10-0 lead. They got all 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. Backed up to their own 14-yard line. Watson takes a shotgun snap. Looking to throw. Pressure. He's sacked. He is thrown down by Max Crosby. 2nd and long. Crosby gets to Watson for the first time today, working on Jack Conklin on the right side. Unfortunate. The Albatross. Is that what they call him? They call him some bird name with a wide wingspan. 2nd and 19 at their own 5-yard line. Snap just before the 2-minute warning. Watson throws to his left. That is caught. Cooper spins off 1 tackle. Amari Cooper on 2nd and 19 able to get about 14 yards, and the Browns will have 3rd and 5. Nice job by Cooper. Extend the man. Extend him. Hopefully by the time you're watching this, they already have. 3rd and 5. Watson under center, takes the snap. He had a man. Oh, finds a better man. Let's go. Big play out to the 40-yard line. Jerry Jeudy, 2nd reception of the day. I don't know who it was. I think it was Njoku on a crosser beneath. Look, there's the first down, but there's the big play. Ethan Posick is fired up. Browns have all 3 timeouts. They have not used one yet, though. In the gun. Snap to Watson. It's a screen. Caught. Chubb has a blocker. Damn it, Petonio. Have some patience, Nicholas. Let your blockers get in front of you. 2nd and 6. Could have been a much bigger gain. Out towards midfield. Watson under center. Takes the snap. Quick strike. Oh, that's intercepted. Oh, that's intercepted. Man, he had his man. Would have been a big gain. Instead, you let Max Crosby pick you off as he was in coverage. Oh, that's a tough pill to swallow. Look how open he is. Lead him. No one's in front of Jerry Jeudy if he gets that ball. It's him and the safety to beat. Minshew and the offense get back on the field. They're at the Browns' 45-yard line. Cleveland's defense backed up. Snap to Minshew. Throwing deep. That's incomplete. 2nd and 10. Greg Newsome. Let's go. He likes that. Big collapse on the sideline from Nyheim Hines. That's our special teams king. In shotgun, Minshew standing at his own 50, takes the snap, looking, surveying, throwing, and that is incomplete. It's been a tough day for Minshew through the air. They are going up against the RAF at the tail end of the Battle of Britain right now. 3rd and 10. Minshew back in shotgun. Get him, get him, get him. Snap. Looking, throwing. That's caught. First down. Titty City. Out to the 20. Jacoby Myers again. Raiders have 2 timeouts remaining. Looks like they called their first one right there. Myles Garrett, don't let up, dude. You were there. I know the new rules say don't do it, but do it. We got a men's league basketball league we're in here. Use your 5 fouls. Hit the quarterback. 1st and 10. Snap to Minshew. Throw to his left. That is caught. Gain of 10. Looks like Devontae Adams caught it. And the Raiders use their second timeout. Name of the game here is just keep them out of the end zone, right? Surrender a field goal. That's not the worst outcome for starting at your own 45-yard line. That's almost near best case realistic scenario. Under center. Snap to Minshew. Quick throw. Caught and gain of about 4 by Jacoby Myers. Don't you love when the backup quarterback or the new quarterback comes in and they kind of pick a favorite target, and for some dumb reason they never pick the best wide receiver? They always seem to develop a connection with the backup tight end. Timeout Raiders. Were they about to let that clock go to 0? I wasn't paying too close attention. I had a Mike McCarthy view of the clock. Yeah, 4 seconds. They decide, you know what? We do want to have a play before the end of the half. That also does feel kind of realistic for the Raiders. I actually will defend Madden in this one. I think they did an accurate job. And they're going to kick a field goal on 2nd and goal. So, excellent job by Las Vegas. Great clock management by the Raheem Morris stunt double, who is trying to portray Antonio Pierce. And Carlson's field goal is up, and it is good. So 10-3. Somehow that kick only took 2 seconds. And the Browns will receive a kickoff before the end of the first half. Remember, the Raiders do get the ball to start the second half. So they will have an opportunity to go drive down the field and tie this game. But a pretty close first half. Both defenses making some plays. Interception for the Raiders. A couple sacks for the Brownies. Nyheim Hines, I don't know what you're clapping about. You're about to go nowhere. Watch this. They pooch kick it to you because they don't respect you at all. And they get you down to the 21-yard line. I feel bad for Nyheim. I think he's a really cool guy. He has become my mortal enemy because of Madden. That's the end of the first half. 10-3 Brownies. Let's go. Spam those CLEs in the chat. If you're looking for a Browns YouTube channel to keep you in the loop all off season long, hit the sub button down below. Guaranteed to have a great time or your money back. By the way, if you want to get your paws on this awesome Browns polo, go to chatsports.com/CLE polo. I put the link in the comments and description because I know you already forgot what I just said. But up your Browns wardrobe today and get yourself a nice PD's polo with this Brown and the Elf polo. Chatsports.com/CLE polo. All right, Browns first half over with. They are not 30 minutes away. They are 12 minutes away in Madden World from going 2-2. We'll take that after a rocky 0-2 start. Bounce back to win 2 in a row, potentially. Grade the Browns first half, A, B, C, D, or F. Let me know. I would give the Browns a solid B+. Had they not turned it over in the first half, it would be an absolute A, slam dunk. But unfortunately, that interception from Watson will keep him at a B+. All right. Let's get the second half underway. Mr. Trace Gerard. Browns, Raiders, second half. 10-3. Nick Chubb, by the way, is awesome this year. I do love how Madden has just completely removed the possibility of Chubb having a slow bounce-back start to the year because of the knee injury. He looks like prime Nick Chubb right now. Diabate, special teams core, getting fired up. Look at Hopkins. Getting his 4 best buddies right there. Browns on 3. Something that always drove me, I don't say drove me nuts, but something that always made my skin crawl. I hate when people break the huddle with family. No, just do the fucking team name. We don't need poets here. We need football players. Yeah. Who is the white kick returner? Is that Dylan Lobby? That would probably make the most sense. It's not Hunter Renfrow indeed. Lobby takes it across the 10. I'm just going to say this is Dylan Lobby, the rookie from New Hampshire, and he gets out to the 25. Naheem, look what he does. Replicate. 1st and 10 for Minshew. By the way, you could just need the ball down and go right to the 25, but whatever. In the gun, snap to Minshew. Throw is incomplete. I don't think we've seen Brock Bowers touch the football yet. I think Brock Bowers is going to be really freaking good. I always felt like he only fell because Kyle Pitts didn't live up to the expectations, and you don't see tight ends go top 10 in the draft. Brock Bowers is the real deal. Just don't ask him to be some ferocious run blocker for you. 2nd and 10. Minshew looking. Minshew is sacked. Myles Garrett gets home again. 3rd sack of the game. 3rd sack of the season. Myles Garrett is having a coming out party after a slow start to the season. Let's go, 95. 2nd or 3rd and long, whatever it is. Myles Garrett just dominating this Raiders offensive line. 3rd and 19. Spam those threes. Spam those threes. I'm smelling a Darius Smith sack. 3rd and 19. Snap to Minshew. Looking. Hit as he throws. Incomplete. Pressure got to him. Nowhere to go with the football except for the ground. And that'll bring up 4th and 19. Jordan Hicks, I think, applied the pressure. And the Raiders, trailing by 7, will go 3 and out on their opening drive of the second half. Punt return starts from the 35 out to the 45, a solid 10-yard return. And Deshaun Watson and company will have 1st and 10 out towards midfield. 10-3, good guys. Early in the 3rd quarter. Watson lines up under center. Takes the snap. Handoff. Chubb, left side. Chubb looking, running. Chubb picking up 6-7 hard-earned yards. 2nd and 3. Dalvin Tomlinson getting a breather. Raheem Morris still with the wrong team. We've got Watson back in shotgun just across midfield now. Snap. It's a pass. Plenty of time. And he decides to run to the defenders. Don't get that one. Left would have been a very good option. Jed Wills just screamed in his quarterback ear, "You're an idiot." And I can't really disagree with him. He had all the time in the world, and he decided, let's get tackled. 3rd and 10. Back to the original line of scrimmage. Snap to Watson. Throwing deep. That's caught 1st down. Way to make up for it, Deshaun. Finds Amari Cooper. About a 15-yard strike. And Cleveland has 1st down. Extend Amari Cooper. Hopefully by the time you're watching this, they already have. First and 10. Snap to Deshaun. Looking. Rolling to his right. He'll tuck it and run. And he is hit hard. I think that was Max Crosby. Yeah, of course it was. He's everywhere at once. Gain of 4, though, for Watson via his legs. Halfway through the 3rd quarter. Still 10-3 Brownies. Deshaun in the gun. Takes the snap. It's a quarterback keeper. Deshaun with his legs. He gets about 3 yards. It'll be 3rd and inches. Had almost all the defenders looking at Chubb on the inside, and Watson keeps it for himself. 3rd and inches. Now you give it to Nick Chubb. Don't overthink it. Give it to 24. It'll be a 1st down. I'll resign today if it's not. That's how, damn it. All right, quick throw, 1st down. That works too. David Njoku with surefire hands. Although that kind of is his weakness. 1st and 10. Juan Thornhill, once again, the minister of high fives and dap ups for stuff he did not accomplish. 1st and 10, out to the Browns 25-yard line, or the Raiders 25. Play fake, an awful one. Watson to the right side. That's caught. Big gain out to the 10. Looks like Jordan Akins gets involved for the first time today. And the Browns will have 1st and 10 from about the 11-yard line. Watson on target today, aside from an interception. It's like that A's broadcaster. Siri, it's not your night. Just crushes the next baseball. 1st and 10 from the 10. Snap to Watson. Another horrendous play fake. He'll tuck it and run, and Watson with his legs is in for the touchdown! Looked like a broken play to me, and number 4 makes 6 out of it. Let's go! Don't really know what that dance is, but we'll take it. And Watson has another rushing touchdown on the season. Muscles his way past 2 defenders, dives in for 6. 16-3 Brownies. Extra point from Hopkins is up, and it is good. So the Browns add on to their lead. It's a 2-touchdown lead with a little under 2 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Spam TD. Show me those TDs. Let's go. Browns are a little bit away from going 2-2 on the season. Remember, subscribe to the channel if you want more Browns content throughout the entire offseason. We do more than just Madden reactions. We actually provide the latest news and rumors. So if you're looking for a free Browns YouTube channel, hit that sub button down below. We've got Dustin Hopkins getting ready to kick it off. If I'm power ranking places I want to be drafted to out of the University of New Hampshire, the Las Vegas Raiders have to be number 1. I don't know if there's a bigger cultural like jump from Concord, New Hampshire to Las Vegas. Imagine getting drafted to the Packers. That's got to be a big slap in the face. No, because you get to go live in New York. That's what I'm saying. If you live in New Hampshire and you get to go to the NFL, either LA team would be cool. Like, just really any team but the Packers, actually. It's a run on 1st down, gain of 4. I'd love to know if they can get this study of rookies at all 32 teams, how much of them use their salary of their rookie season, spend it, to see the Raiders players just blow it all at Caesars. I would. 2nd and 6, drop back, quick throw, caught over the middle, and it'll be a 1st down for, is that Michael Mayer? I think it is. Yeah. Well, definitely for the Raiders players, the local sheriff's department. 1st and 10. Not you, fat Jesus. Snap to Minshew. It's a run to the right side and very little running room for Zamir White. Gain of just 1. Jeremiah Usu-Koromoa. Extend him too. Extend everyone. Everyone's excited when you extend a player. 2nd and 9. Minshew under center. Takes the snap. It's a run up the gut. Big hole here and a big gain all across the 50. And the Raiders able to end the quarter on a high note. They get across the 50-yard line. So down by 14, they do have the ball to start the 4th quarter. By the way, if you have not heard already, we'll say it one last time for the people in the back. We've got Browns polos. Get yourself an awesome PD's polo at chatsports.com/CLE polo. I put this link in the comments and description of today's video. Up your Cleveland Browns wardrobe with some new gear. End of the 3rd quarter. We get started for the 4th. 17-3. Good guys. Browns trying to start this 3-game road trip with a nice 1-0 mark. First and 10, though. They've got 6 minutes to get through. In the gun, Minshew takes the snap. It's a drop back, rolls to his left, throws deep to the left sideline. That is incomplete. Martin Emerson, the nearest defender in coverage, and that'll bring up 2nd and 10. 2nd down. Come on, defense. This is by far the best game they've played all year, holding the Raiders to 3 points on the road. Under center, drop back, Minshew, surveying, throwing, left side, caught. Oh, and that's not going to go anywhere. JOK picks up and puts down Michael Mayer. Loss of 3. 3rd and 13. Jerry Jeudy likes that. Big claps. A little 2-clap action from number 3. 3rd and 13. Let's go. Span those threes. Span those threes. Snap to Minshew. Throws to his right. Screen pass caught, and that's going nowhere. 4th down. 4th down, baby. Good pursuit by this defense. 4th and 7. What do the Raiders want to do? What do the Raiders want to do? They want to go for it. They want to kick it. They're at midfield. They're down 2 touchdowns. It's the 4th quarter. They're going for it. Here we go. In shotgun. Snap. Throw over the middle. That's caught. He's short. He's short. Jordan Hicks loves it. 1st and 10 Brownies. Turnover on downs. That's not going to get there. I don't think you can ever actually explain to a football fan why every single route on 4th down does not get to the line of scrimmage. They can give, like a coach can give a candid response, like, well, the timing, they only have so much time in the pocket. I never understand why every route does not get to the line to gain. 1st and 10 for Watson. You know what you should do when you're trying to nurse a 14-point lead? Throw the football in the 4th quarter. Especially when you have a bad running back, too, like Nick Chubb. 2nd and 6. Max Crosby trying to get something going defensively to get this ball back. Near midfield. Snap to Watson. Yeah, pass it again. And he is going to be sacked. What the fuck are they doing? It is 2nd down and 6. You have the ball in the 4th quarter. Run the football. 3rd and 10. I mean, they would have to have another Jets caliber meltdown to lose this game. Snap to Deshaun. 3rd down. They pass it 3 straight plays. 1st down. What am I talking about? Let's go. Amari Cooper comes through in the clutch yet again. Ken Dorsey puts his nuts in a wheelbarrow. And the Brown. Oh, don't touch me. Big throw and catch. Gain of 20-plus yards. 1st and 10. Gardner Minshew, knowing he's about to get benched for AOC. At the Raiders 38, snap to Watson, looking, throwing to his left. And I'm not quite sure why, but I think that was Nick Chubb who went out of bounds. Can't do that. Gotta stop the clock, boys. Remember, under 5 minutes to go in either half, the clock stops when you go out of bounds voluntarily. 2nd and 5. Snap to Watson. This time they run it with Chubb, and Chubb gets the 1st down. Gain of 6 or 7. Chubb has a fresh set of downs for the Brownies. And we are knocking on the door of victory. Little under 3 minutes to go. The Raiders do have all 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning. But the Browns are threatening to add on to their 14-point lead here from the Vegas 26. Watson in shotgun. Takes the snap. It's a run to Chubb. Chubb bouncing off one tackler. Can't avoid a second. And it'll be a loss of 1. Malcolm Kuntz tracks him down. 2nd and 11. Approaching the 2-minute warning. And there it is. 2-minute warning from the Sin City. The Browns with the football and a 14-point lead. On the other side of the 2-minute warning. From the Vegas 27-yard line. Snap to Watson. Another run for Chubb. Slips out of one tackle. Nick Chubb has the first down. Yes, he does. And that will pretty much put this game on ice. The Raiders call their first of 3 timeouts. Mathematically, they could get the football back, but another first down would put this game away. 1st and 10 Browns. Chubb has been in this spot before. Remember the Jets game. Could have gone down in bounds, run the clock out, scored a touchdown. We all know how that one ended. Chubb is stuffed in the backfield, loss of 3, and the Raiders call their second timeout. Raiders have one more timeout. Do not throw the football here. Do not throw it. Just don't open up Pandora's box for things to go wrong. Nothing can go wrong if you give Nick Chubb the football. In the pistol. Snap. It's a run to Chubb, and he's going to get just a couple of yards, if that. And the Raiders burn their third and final timeout. With 1:48 to go, it'll be 3rd and 12 for Cleveland. I mean, they can burn about 45-ish seconds of game clock here. Snap. Watson and shotgun. Here's the snap. They run it with Chubb. Chubb has a good amount of yards to gain, but it's not going to be enough for a first down. 4th and 8. Nothing the Raiders can do to stop the clock here. The Browns likely to send out their field goal unit, make it a 17-point lead. Most importantly, make it a 3-score game. And Dustin Hopkins, a 30-yard field goal, as the play clock winds down, is up, and it is good. So the Browns lead at 20-3, and that will put this game away. Cleveland, with a win, will improve to 2-2. Their next game, I believe, is in D.C. against the Commies. I thought the schedule makers kind of did them dirty going across the country. Yes, they go to D.C. and then to Philly. So likely they come back to Cleveland for the week and then go out to Landover, Maryland. But first, they had 1 minute and 3 seconds to kill until they are officially back to 500, 2-2. Hopkins kicks it. Return across the 10 to the 15 to the 20 and stopped just shortly afterwards. Diabate in on the tackle. And now here's Gardner Minshew, knowing this will be his last start before AOC takes over. In the shotgun formation, snap. Throws to his right side. That is caught. Yes. Nice play by Jacoby Myers. Clock tick, 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 tick. Raiders out of timeouts. Have to get out of bounds or spike the football to stop the clock next. 1st and 10 for Minshew. Snap. Looking. Throwing deep. That's caught. Nice play. Gets out of bounds. Devontae Adams. And it'll be 1st and 10 Las Vegas. Right around midfield with about 30-ish seconds remaining. Oh, the booth wants to review this. Ed Hockley, get off the field. I think he caught it, but it's a video game. What do I know? Nick Chubb's looking over there like, I got a great view. Why is DeJuan Jones so skinny? The right tackle looks like he's been on Ozempic. 1st and 10. Oh, it's a catch. In the gun. Snap. Minshew. Pressure. Throwing. That's caught. Good. Keep this clock ticking. 20 seconds. No sense of urgency. Back in the huddle. Waiting for the play call to come in. Oh, they signal no huddle now. 5 seconds. This will be the last play of the game. Minshew throws. Caught. Get him down, and that's the ball game, folks. The Browns will improve to 2-2. Stefanski's fired up. Let's go. 20-3 over the Raiders. Big win for the Raiders. Antonio Pierce slams his play call, clipboard, whatever, and Watson loves it. The Browns leave Vegas as winners, which is very difficult to do, actually. Let's go. All right. That will do it for us on our Browns versus Raiders Madden simulation. If you enjoy these simulations, please let me know in the comment section. I want to do content that you guys want to watch, so would love to hear feedback from everyone on our, voyage expedition of our 2024 Madden simulation for the entire Browns schedule. So let me know if you're enjoying these simulations as we move on to Week 5 in DC against Jaden Daniels and the Commanders. But for now, predict the Browns record for me to wrap up the show. Let me know what your record predictions are for Cleveland in 2024. I'm sticking by my guns, and I think my guns are 11-6, but they could sneak to 12-5 if the offense stays consistent and the defense plays at the level it played at last year. All right. Kathy loves it. Debbie loves it. Christopher Sim is wrong. After this, they should be 3-1. I don't disagree, Chris. Very well could be. Week 1 can't get here soon enough. All right, if we get some more super chats, we can stay live. Otherwise, we do have to sign off. You know how studio space here at Chat Sports is. It is tough to come by. So, always people knocking on the door. In fact, we had someone knock on the door just 2 minutes ago. So, appreciate everyone for hanging out with us for another live edition of the Cleveland Browns Report. We will be live Friday, 1 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Eastern. We'll have Week 5 against the Commanders in that live simulation. Plus, we'll recap everything going on with the Brownies. So make sure you come hang out with us on Friday as well. We'll see you periodically throughout the week, of course, with more updates. So make sure to have your notifications on, and we will see everyone later.